Alright, hello there everyone, this is SlamerZ here from Tenacity Gaming, well not which, but today I shall be showing you something that I built on the server, just today actually, and I noticed that on the server there had been a couple of casinos that popped up, and none of them really worked, or at least they didn't look like they worked in a way that was fair. Because some of them people were getting ripped off because there was no way to win, or it was rigged or something like that. So I built this slot machine out of Redstone and Falsebook. And I looked around when I was first going to build this on YouTube and other places, and I found a slot machine that functions quite similar to this, but they never really told anyone how to do it. They just kind of had it there and they said, hey, we built this. And then eventually they told people what all plugins they had to have to use it. So I basically built the same thing, but with my own version. And I'm going to show you guys how it works and how to build it. So first we could sit here and read these signs. And the first thing you gotta know before you attempt to build this is that you're going to need a couple of plugins. For one, you need iConomy, which is just a regular bucket plugin for an economy system. You're going to need, I think it's toggle commands or target commands. Let me check. It's one of these TriggerCmds, that's the one. You're going to need that. You're going to need Falsebook, and I believe that's it. That should be all you need to build this, which really isn't a whole lot. It's just 2-3 plugins. And the way this works is you press this button and it automatically takes $5 from your wallet on economy, and it pays it to the casino just to press this button. So you press this, took $5, and it lights this up. Now, the way that this works, and I gotta make sure that everything's set right. Yep. Is that you go through, you press this button, and these 3 are the only ones that really matter, because if these 3 light up, then you get a prize out of this dispenser that we have set up over here. Now this at the moment isn't going to work because this is empty and it's, yeah, but as you can see, you can press it and it will randomly light all 9 of these glowstones. And then eventually you'll win. And then you get this disc. So I guess that wasn't empty. And then once you win, you take that over here. Oh, you also need SignShop. That's right, that's the 3rd one. You don't need SignShop, but it fully automates the process. Because when you get this disc, you can set over here how much to sell the disc for, because these are record 11s, and then you can just sell it back to the shop, or casino as it is here, and you get $10. But yeah, so right now this isn't functioning quite right for the fact that I just copied and pasted this straight from another area, because I built it and then I took it here to take apart and show you guys, which is why this is just a completely flat area out here, besides that, which is something else we're working on, which we'll maybe show you one day soon here on Tenacity. But yeah, so right now when it's sending signals off, it's actually picking up on other areas that have these same transmitters. But here's the 4 parts of it, because this is a 4-part machine. You go in here, which we don't need this anymore, and it goes from this button to this wire, which hits this repeater, and there's not a specific reason it's a repeater, I just enjoy it that way, which goes into this transmitter. So if we go out here, we're going to go into creative to build this. Let's grab some stone. Also need this, add some levers, this. We're definitely going to need signs. The signs are a big part of this. And repeaters. I know there's more to this, but for this step, I'm pretty sure that this is all I'm going to need. So, here we go. First things first, we're going to build this first step, which is all of this, which looks complicated, but it's really not. This is just the board with the glowstone lamps and then the button. So we'll start out with the button. Just button. That's what I was forgetting. I was forgetting to give me a button. There we go. So button. And then click, click. Shoot, don't make that big. There we go. And then this is going to be just regular. And we're going to run this into a transmitter for Falsebook. So put down that, and then a sign, and on the second line, it's MC1110. And then we have to give it a name, so I'll call this slot 2. So now, anytime that you give this a signal, it's going to look for, go into this, and this is going to look for anything that's a receiver in Falsebook named slot 2. But this leads into the next step after we finish building first, because this is, I count this as one part because it's all right next to each other. So next we build the board, which goes in right next to it, but it's only next to it to make it compact. It doesn't actually have to be, because there isn't really anything that's set in stone about how this has to be. I just like to build it this way for aesthetics. Just put in the one, then go up one, jump, one, jump, and there we have that tower. The tower of power, but not really. Let's see how. Which that's set up just right there. And then the way we get power to this, well, each of these blocks, is that we're gonna place Falsebook signs that are transmitters up to switches right behind these, and those will get a signal while you play. And when you have enough signals, then you win. Actually, that's gibberish, but it kind of made sense, not really. So put down this, this, this. We're gonna build these weird towers for each tower. We don't need that block there or that block there. So do the same thing here. We don't need that block there or that block there. And that block there and that block there. Alright. So first thing that we got to do for this part of it is we have to decide what we want to name each of these, because each of these has to have a transmitter with a specific name. And I'm just gonna go ahead and now these are receivers for Falsebook. So it's right left bracket MC0111 right bracket, and then you give it the name it's supposed to be looking for. Well, for the transmitters to know by. So I'll just put S11. And the reason I put S11 is because it's slot machine, which is the S, and then 1 for it being the first row vertically, and then 1 because that is the first block horizontally. And then we're going to take this switch and put it there. And that is going to give power and even also a way for you to see that switch into this block here when this receives a signal. And yes, I did just use this, which is an X-ray mod, and it is not unethical for me to use it for the fact that I know that there are a lot of people that think it's just downright wrong to have, but mine, basically, I've got it set up so it only picks up a redstone and things that set up around redstone, and I only use it for building purposes. I don't use it for any kind of cheating, and I am an administrator on this server, so I don't actually use it for anything because I don't play on any other server other than just building, because I have no need to do it for anything else. So no hate mail about the X-ray because it's all for building. Now let me just go ahead and put receivers on the rest of this bit. S12 CO11 S13. Alright, so that's that on that row. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process up throughout here. Alright, so we have all those signs placed, and we just need to get all the levers placed. Alright, there's that. So, as of so far, we have a button that leads to a Falsebook sign that's transmitting for slot 2, and we have 9 signs with 9 glowstone lamps that are all hooked up to receivers with their own names. And now we go off and we build step 2.